Welcome to the After Party Hangover Wednesday review show. Today, my co-pilot returning to the Hangover is Matthew JH138. What is going on, my man?
Oh, nothing much. Just nursing a Valentine hangover. That's all.
Oh, wow. You have a good time last night?
Accidentally drank way too much wine.
Well, hey, why not? It's Valentine's Day, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, today's February 15th. What day is today celebrating?
I have no idea. I didn't even look it up today.
Oh, come on, Matthew. No.
So bad.
All right, let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with some AEW talk. This is the show I care the least about, and I was drunk writing these notes, so bear with me, people. We kicked it off with an AEW Tag Team Championship match where Hangman and Omega, the Tag Team Champions, took on SCU. The match, it was okay. Did you take anything away from this opening match from AEW Dynamite?
I'm so embarrassed. I didn't know I was supposed to watch AEW also.
Oh. Well, you know what? Let's skip over the NXT then.
And did all the notes on NXT.
Well, it is the better show, so I can just skip the NXT because we got a lot to talk about, including predictions. So NXT kicks off with Morrow giving us the rundown of what to expect tonight. Roddy Strong makes his way to the ring, calling out the Velveteen Dream because he's pissed that his whole family's on his tights. And then out of nowhere, here comes this Australian gorilla, Bronson Reed, says it's payback time. Roddy versus Bronson. What do you think about this match, and what notes did you take on it?
So, this is the third NXT I've ever watched in my life. So, what I've gotten away from this was, hey, I like the athleticism of everybody on the whole show, but I also like the commentary way better than anything on like Raw or SmackDown or anything like that. Like I like Beth on; she's way better than Renee compared if you're going to compare women commentators. But I don't really like Roderick Strong that much, but Bronson Reed was really cool. He moves really fast for a big guy. That's the big thing I got from that. And that knee at the end was pretty damn amazing. So, well, that's what I got from that.
What kept drawing my attention were Bronson's titties kept flopping out of his onesie. He's a large man, and he needs better support for them tatas because I just kept staring at him the whole match. But it was a really good competitive matchup. Good showcase for Bronson, even though he lost. But the best part of the match, the move that I was most impressed with was Bronson holding a 30-second delayed suplex to Roddy. That was very impressive. The crowd was counting along to the delay. It was pretty cool. And you know Roddy's probably, he felt that one pretty bad when he hit that mat.
Well, also, and I had to rewind this, did you look where his hand was? He had his hand square right at his crotch the whole time.
Hey, he needed a handlebar to hang on to for those 30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess so. That'll make sure he stays still.
And then we get the action spilling out to the outside of the ring, and then a Velveteen distraction of him going, ow! Which I thought he would appear like on the ramp or something and like be on his couch, his purple couch or something, but he wasn't. It did distract Roddy briefly. But Bronson, we saw the finish of the match with Bronson on the top rope. He dives toward Roddy. Roddy hits him with that knee for the win. And then we get a Velveteen Dream Tron promo. The quote he says that I wrote down, if anything ever happened to you, someone would fulfill Marina's needs and dreams. Fueling how personal this feud is going to be. Tomorrow, NxT Portland Takeover. Wow, this is going to be, I wasn't looking forward to this match. I mean, I know Roddy was the one who took out Velveteen. I don't think you're aware of that, but it was kind of a nothing feud. I didn't really care about it. and then they did the whole injury angle to Velveteen, and he was gone for a while. I guess this it's a grudge match. There's no real stakes, but at NXT Portland, it should be a good match. I think you should. I think you'll be very entertained if you tune in to this takeover to see how good these two really are.
See, that's I didn't know who Velveteen Dream was until what did he come back last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I always heard about him, and everybody always liked him. I never saw it, and I saw him last week, and this week, he's one I would like. I hope he actually stays in NXT.
Yeah.
Because I always hear maybe he'll go up. No, he seems to do good character work here. That should please don't ruin that.
Well, Velveteen Dream is just oozing charisma. He's only 24 years old. He's very impressive in the ring. He was on Tough Enough. He didn't have a character back then, but he has shined brightly in NXT, and I agree with you 100%. He needs to remain in NXT for at least a year. Just build him up to whenever he goes to Raw or SmackDown, he'll be treated better.
Yeah. You don't want to ruin that.
Up next, we get the first of a few Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne segments that were pretty well shot. Pretty good comedy odd couple here. Riddle and Dunne preparing for a road trip with the trophy sticking out of their car. They get pulled over. Neither of them have a license. The car gets towed. And it says, "To be continued." Riddle says, "Don't worry, I have a plan." What did you think of this comedy duo?
You know what? I just realized. I just got done watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles literally like an hour ago. And it's kind of the same thing where every time they tried to go somewhere, something happens. So that was kind of neat. But I like this. I don't know about Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle's weird. But to me anyways, I just think the whole barefoot thing and the flip-flop thing, that's just so weird and skeevy. But I like this. I like the comedy that they were doing with it. I like the payoff in the end was pretty neat.
This is more like automobiles, paddle boats, and planes.
Pretty much.
It was pretty entertaining. I love how Riddle. I mean, they're still new at this whole. You could tell they were heavily scripted, but it was still kind of funny.
Yeah.
I hope they remain a tag team because Pete Dunne needs more gold, and he needs to check off the tag team titles on his checklist.
Yeah, I like him. He's good.
After this,
I like him a lot. I watched the one match, and they were really, really good. So, I can get behind on him.
After this, we get Angel Garza backstage interview. Leo Rush interrupts. These two are gonna murder each other later in the night, and this was just a teaser to what's to come. How often have you seen Angel Garza or Leo Rush? Is this your first time seeing both of them?
First time.
What was your first impression of Angel Garza, the Mexican dude?
I didn't really have a care really that much, to be honest. It was enough that I left to go get pizza rolls out of the oven.
So I'm guessing you don't care for Leo Rush either?
No, I don't really care for him either that much. Not that much. I'm sorry.
Well, after this, we finally get the Candice LeRae, Tenacious C, versus Dakota Kai, or as Morrow called her, Dakota Y. I was a little disappointed at the beginning because Dakota Kai's entrance, she usually has the Titantron of her breaking Tegan Nox's knees, and that was very entertaining, and you could hear Tegan Nox screaming and stuff. I thought that was really original. But when she faced Candice LeRae NXT, it was a generic Tron. I was a little disappointed, but oh well, it wasn't Tegan, so I'll allow it. During the match, Dakota Kai nailed Candice right in the nose. That actually caused blood to come out. Not a lot, but noticeable. Anything else stand out in this match to you?
No, I didn't even see this. I watched this on Hulu. Did they delete things from that?
Oh wow, this didn't make the Hulu cut.
I guess not.
Damn,
I'm
this
going right down my list.
is a good match.
I even looked out why there was only one women's match.
Huh. Yeah, I would say this is the better of the women's matches on the show because Candice LeRae can go, and Dakota Kai has a pretty strong heel character right now. It's one of the ongoing angles in the show. That's weird. Damn you, Hulu.
Boy, I'm not doing too good today.
Nah,
watch AEW. Missed the one.
It's all right. I'll break it down for you. Yeah, Dakota Kai kicked Candice right in the nose, causing it to bleed. And then Morrow drops this classic gem. He said, Candice's nose is leaking like a government document.
Perfect.
Morrow is slowly becoming the new JR.
I like I said, I love this commentary group. You know what it is? It actually almost seems like they're trying to make it like a legitimate sports commentator, just the way they present themselves. They're not like the like a wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain.
Yeah, Beth is coming into her own. She started out rough, just like everybody, but I think she's getting better and better every week. And Morrow, like I said, is slowly becoming the new JR. Whereas Nigel McGuinness, I said last week, he's the commentary assassin. I meant to say he's the commentary sniper. He comes in with those one lines that make you laugh. It's the best commentary team, I believe, on any promotion as of today.
I think so.
When they came back from commercial, Morrow dropped another gem. He said, Welcome back to NXT. We got more drama than a Housewives reunion.
That's funny.
By the way, to the people who are listening, I noticed that Candice LeRae was dressed as Harley Quinn, which is kind of strange because she's blonde. I don't know if that was a Margot Robbie shout out. I thought it was kind of weird. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if she was supposed to be Harley Quinn. Candice locked in the Gargano escape for a while, and it looked like Dakota Kai was about to tap, but Dakota reverses it into a pin for the win. The fight continues outside the ring. Dakota Kai eventually hits Candice with the ring bell, and right when she was about to clobber her with the ring bell again, Tegan steps in to save Dakota Kai. And then they have one of those classic segments you see on Raw a lot where there's a pull apart. Like they're fighting and then the locker room empties and pulls them apart. I thought that was kind of cool. If you watch this takeover this weekend, you'll see a really good match. A street fight between Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. But hopefully if you are curious to go back on YouTube or something and watch that match, it was really good.
I didn't know. I always heard Jade complain about stuff like that. That sometimes it's not on the Hulu. I never even thought about that, to go back and look.
Yeah, the WWE's YouTube is pretty good about... They put out the YouTube clip of that segment like right after it happens on their YouTube page. So if you're curious to go check it out, it was very entertaining.
I got home from work. I work overnights. Right? Yeah. I go in at like 9 o'clock at night. I don't get home till 7:30 in the morning. And then after I get the kids on the bus and everything, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I literally sat down. I have a 4-month-old daughter. I opened up a beer. I'm sitting with my 4-month-old daughter, feeding her. I have my beer. I'm watching, thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm actually catching up on everything. Can't believe I missed it.
Well, on the Hulu version, I don't know if this was included, but Johnny Gargano and Cameron Grimes were backstage at a live event. This was just a flashback clip of them arguing last Sunday, and it set up the match for later tonight, Johnny Gargano versus Cameron Grimes. That was the match that was up next. Was that on the Hulu version?
It was.
Okay. I didn't take...
I couldn't guy's name. I wrote opponent because every time he said the name, I missed it. I didn't hear it clearly, so...
The crowd was very into this match. It was split at first. I believe they were saying Johnny Wrestling, and then the other half was saying, let's get grimy. I I don't know if that's what they were saying, but that's what it sounded like to me. What they were saying, I thought that was pretty funny.
It makes sense now because I couldn't understand what they were saying. But is that this guy's gimmick? Is a little bit skeevy there? That's the big note I wrote. It looks like he smells.
Yeah. Cameron Grimes looks like an extra out of Red Dead Redemption, and I think it's a good character only because it's not being done right now in NXT or anywhere, really.
It was good. I like. They always have to have an array of opponents like that, so that was a little bit different, which was pretty nice. But that was the one thing I was like, oh man, all I kept thinking is this guy's rubbing up on him. It's probably gross,
Well, as a casual watcher of NXT, what were your thoughts on this match? Did you think it was a good match? Were you entertained?
It was a good match, but I felt that Johnny Gargano was kind of boring, and for me, anyways. I don't know. It just seemed very average there. But I always hear that he's really good, so that's why I was like, okay, got excited about it. But it was okay. It wasn't that great.
Well, that's very interesting. I didn't write too many notes on this match because it was. I thought they put on a wrestling clinic. It was very. They both got their spots in. I liked this match a lot. I had a question. Johnny Gargano, he does a spear through the second rope into the ring. Does that look effective to you?
No.
Because
not at all.
You know how the regular spears go. People get running starts and they connect really hard. Johnny is relying on like his propulsion from the ropes he's jumping from the apron through the ropes to hit a spear. It does not seem that effective.
No. Well, actually, see, now, here's another one. It's like I said this on, I actually used this in what did I use? One of those questions on the last week's episode of, it was, should they loosen the tension on the ropes?
Yes, I remember that.
So, that's another thing I wrote here. It seemed like some of these guys were too small, and it looked like they were hurting themselves trying to bounce off the ropes as opposed to, like, using it as a slingshot in a sense. That's what I got. There was another thing I wrote down.
You watch those reality series such as Tough Enough, and when they're training in the ring, like running the ropes, like at the end of the day when they're done, they lift their arms and they have like this hideous rope burn underneath their arms. I'm guessing that happens to everybody, but my God, I wonder if they just develop calluses underneath their arms and eventually don't feel it anymore. But yeah, you're right. It looks like it hurts a lot.
You could always see it on Daniel Bryan because he's so pale. And he always has the marks on him too.
If a mosquito bit Daniel Bryan, it would look like he had herpes.
Oh, that's good. I actually knew we were going to when you said that. I've heard that before.
Johnny Gargano does win with the Gargano escape. It was I'd give it 6 slices. I was thoroughly entertained. I just didn't take that much notes on it because I was too busy just being in awe of all the moves they were pulling off. Cameron Grimes is getting better and better with each match. I hope they do something with him someday. But until then, we're looking forward to the Gargano-Finn Balor matchup this Sunday at NxT Portland.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's actually something I was actually looking forward to. I actually wrote this other thing, too. At the end of the match, they showed the crowd. And did anybody else notice that there was a kid with a giant red afro? Real, natural, red, curly hair.
What?
Sticking out. Yes.
Where was he at?
It was right after the Johnny match. Right at the end of it, they panned the crowd to get the crowd reaction. There was a kid. Pale white kid with giant red afro. Enough to write it down. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, that's pretty good.
Damn, I guess it was noticeable enough.
Red afro.
That's funny.
I lose track sometimes.
I get distracted from the audience as well because in AEW there's a dude wearing a Scooby-Doo costume. He was right front and center the entire night. I thought that was pretty funny.
See, I have a friend. I like the WWF, and my friend likes the or WWE. I still call it F, but I have a friend who refuses to watch, and he'll only watch AEW. So we always argue back and forth on what's better. So I didn't even notice. I got to ask him about that.
I'm a WWE purist, so like you, I've been watching since it was WWF, since the Warrior and Hogan days. So I completely understand, and I would be on your side arguing for WWE NXT as opposed to AEW, because I've listened to a few podcasts, and after AEW airs, they make it seem like it was the greatest show ever, and I'm like, what the hell were you watching?
Like, I like it because I like Jericho, and I think his promos would be good, but I literally will just go out on YouTube and look at what Jericho did every week. That's what I end up doing.
I'll give AEW its props on 3 things. Number 1, Dad Bod Jericho, like Zanka says. He hits a home run every Wednesday. Cody Rhodes, he has the over dramatic promos that are entertaining. Hits a home run every Wednesday. Also, I've heard this a lot, and I now agree that it looks like an actual bigger show than NXT does, because NXT is at Full Sail, and they're not moving anytime soon. It still looks like a small house show environment, which is good and bad. It's good because it works for them, and it has worked for them for years. It's bad because it doesn't have a big show feel to it.
No, but I like the smaller venue. It's almost reminiscent of the early ECWs.
I wish that they would not be afraid to move it. Like, I would love to see one day an NXT sort of like a set that Raw or SmackDown has. Just once. Doesn't have to be every week. Just once. Have the pyro, have the glitz and the glamour and everything, just to see what it looks like. You know?
Yeah, hopefully, and hopefully they would do it justice at least. Like, I like that there's no giant long ramp.
Yeah.
I like how it's almost like, I don't even know. It's pretty neat though. It's just how it's, what is it, 100 feet from the entrance to the ring?
It looks like it.
I'm surprised people never trip when going down those long ramps on like the SmackDowns and the Raws.
Well,
or trip more than they do.
Yeah, because a couple months ago it was Dash Wilder who tripped on the SmackDown set. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was watching. There was one Royal Rumble, and they showed like people's cell phone cameras. They were driving Segways.
Oh yeah.
And up to, I forget which one it was. It was a couple of years ago though, because the entrance was so long, and some of the bigger guys. I think they had Braun Strowman on one. They had Big Show on one, where they were getting rides to the ring.
You know what? They need to do that for Goldberg at Super Showdown, so he doesn't run out of breath during the match, during his entrance.
So, I can't believe he's coming back again.
And he's from our days of watching. Goldberg is still going at it with his 5-minute matches. What are your thoughts on the Goldberg Fiend match? So do you think it's going to be good, or you think it's going to be a dud?
I think with Goldberg coming back all the time, because everybody likes to reminisce, and like some people maybe they weren't around when, or weren't into it when he was like the unstoppable force. But this is such a tarnish on what he was and what he built up. He was always like the most unstoppable thing, and he's been stopped quite a few times since he's come back, and he looks pretty bad at it. But that Undertaker match has got to be the most viewed match I've watched in a long time. I can't stop watching it.
Goldberg
it's so bad.
Has lived his highlight of his career and his low light of his career within the past 5 years. The highlight, the thing he should be most proud of his entire career, was squashing Goldberg at Survivor Series a couple years ago. That should be the highlight of his career, stopping the Beast in a less than 5-minute match. The low light of Goldberg's career was losing to The Undertaker in Saudi, because that was such a shit show, and he could have really injured The Undertaker. So what the hell is he planning on doing about the heat this time. It's the same environment. He's going to be gassed when he gets to the ring, but this time he's facing The Fiend. On the Steel Real After Party podcast, Jake was saying, wouldn't it be great if it was just an immediate mandible claw and the match was over? I think it's going to have to be that to preserve both of their characters.
It's going to have to be something. It's going to be something really fast. I can't even imagine. Like, thank God there's no red light, because he's going to be slow, but at least he can see. So I don't even know. That's. I mean, there's no way they can let him win.
They need to have it go on first.
Yeah.
Just go get it out of the way quick, and then we can watch all. Mansoor will be the main event, and he'll beat, I don't know, Kane or whoever returns, because Mansoor never loses in Saudi.
Of course not. I'd be afraid to let him lose.
Yeah. Well, back to NXT, we get the second vignette from Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. This time they're on a paddle boat with the trophy, heading their way towards Portland. I'm pretty sure they're far, far away, but this was also entertaining. Have you ever been on a paddle boat before in your life?
Countless times. Absolutely, yes. I always went camping as a kid, so there was always paddle boats out there and stuff.
I went on a paddle boat once in 2003, and my legs were on fire. Like, I was with some chick, and she was not strong at all, so I was basically the muscle of the paddle boat, and never again. Those are muscles I just do not work out.
That's yeah, it's a workout. It's actually, it's not bad if you can bring drinks out and go fishing, which is what we used to do. So we used to do that as kids. We would go, like, bring our lunches out there and stuff, and then as adults, you know, you get wasted and then don't even want to freaking paddle back. So,
well, after this paddle boat vignette, Robert Stone is back in a boardroom video scene with Chelsea Green, saying he's going to relaunch the Robert Stone brand. No one gives a shit. They talk crap about Caden Carter. Whoop-de-doo. As a casual fan, what did you think about Robert Stone and Chelsea Green?
Nothing. Wasn't on the Hulu.
I think they spared you. They spared you because this was not entertaining. It was lame. Kudos to them for still building on this weird character, but if his client Chelsea Green can't even defeat Caden Carter, this is dead on arrival. But after... Go ahead.
Are these women?
Yes.
Chelsea... That's okay. So this makes sense, because I was wondering why there was only one women's match, but there was more. They just didn't televise it on the Hulu thing.
Well, after this, we get possibly the best match of the night. Lio Rush versus Angel Garza. And you know Garza means business when he tears his pants off at the beginning of the match.
This is another one that was off.
Oh my God, why would they leave this off? This was awesome. Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
Well, it was a lightning quick beginning. These two know each other's moves. Very entertaining, very quick. Garza does end up dominating on the outside of the ring before the commercial break. These two exchanging kicks was like an action movie. Garza, again, with a move I've never seen before. I wish this was on the fucking Hulu. He did... Okay, picture this. Let me try to paint it. Let me paint a picture with my words here, Matthew. Okay. Picture Kevin Nash getting somebody in the powerbomb setup where he puts the head between the legs and he's upright, you know? Okay. Well, then Garza bent forward, grabbed Leo's hands between Leo's legs. So like I said, they're in a powerbomb setup position. Leo is between Garza's legs. Garza bends forward, grabs Leo's hands between Leo's legs. So what he then does is he pulls Leo's arms up, which somersaults Leo in the air and then drops them flat on the mat. I have never seen that before, and I do not know what that move was called. Even the commentators were stumped on that one. But leave it to Angel Garza to deliver moves I, as a wrestling fan of 30 years, have never seen. Very, very fucking impressive.
I've never heard of such a thing, but that does look pretty good. That's probably the first thing I'm looking up when we're done with this.
This is what the commentators tried to call it. An underhook reverse power bomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, Leo does hit top rope cutter. It's kind of a sloppy landing, but we get what he was trying to do. Then he dove to the outside onto Garza with his final hour frog splash, which looked very devastating. Garza gets the upper hand eventually back in the ring. He attempts his finisher, the wing clipper, but Leo reverses it into a pin for the win. Very entertaining matchup. Leo walks up the ramp to the stage, staring at Garza, who's still in the ring, who's shocked that Leo beat him. And then the NXT Cruiserweight Champion confronts Leo on the stage. The match is now set for next week, not at TakeOver this Sunday. Jordan Devlin versus Leo Rush for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. It's going to be fire. Do not miss that.
No problem. Wait. Okay, yeah. Leo Rush was the guy that was with Lashley, right?
Yeah, he was the dude saying Lashley.
I remember. Yes. Okay, gotcha. I liked him as a wrestler, so that's something I would be looking forward to. But yeah. Okay.
I don't know if this was on the Hulu version, but up next was a Keith Lee, Dominik Dijakovic video package that was narrated by the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Yes, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like Keith Lee.
Okay, so you prefer Keith Lee during this video package. Did you like the video package? Was it well done to you?
Me, it was well done. I saw a Keith Lee match. Was it last week? And he was in the Royal Rumble too. That guy can go and he's huge. But that's the type of guys that's fun to watch to me. Like the really big guys when they get really athletic.
Backstage, they are very big on Keith Lee. He did a great performance at Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, and now as North American Champion, he's going to go up against one of his longest rivals, Dominik Dijakovic. My God, is this going to steal the show this Sunday? I cannot wait to see another war between these two guys. They're equal in size. Keith Lee is thicker. Dominik, I believe, is more agile. It's going to be, to quote JR, a slobber knocker.
That's good. That's actually a very good description of them because they were talking about their sizes, and it's literally just one guy does cardio better, so he's cut, and the other guy is more just mass. That's what I saw. That I was like, oh wow. I was like, that is the same size because I always sit there and think about it. Man, if I did a lot of working out, I'm the size of half these wrestlers as it is. If I worked out more, maybe I'd look like it, but hey, who knows?
Well, Matthew J.H. is a mega pounder in training, if I'm correct, right?
I'm 6'5", 275 pounds. So yeah, it's not. I'm a big guy. It's just I really need to start doing something. I need to start running again.
You need to start putting extra cheese on them burgers to become a mega pounder. Come on, man. Come on. Our numbers are dwindling.
I just went to, I just had my son had a birthday party to go to. And afterwards, the food was not good. So afterwards, we went to McDonald's. So yeah, I just had a double quarter pounder.
There you go. Now,
with extra barbecue.
If this match was on the Hulu cut, I'm going to shit my pants. Up next was Bianca Belair versus Santana Garrett.
All 35 seconds of it.
Oh my God, I'm going to need a diaper. Okay, so this match was a squash match. Poor Santana Garrett, looking like an extra from Glow, just got murdered by Bianca Belair. My only problem with Bianca Belair, My only problem is her gear. She says she makes her own gear, and on her top, the top half of her gear, where her titties are in, she always has a pair of huge lips. That looks cheesy as fuck. She needs to get rid of those. I don't see why that's the choice she made, but it just looks like some cheesy shit from the 80s.
Yes. I actually wrote that down as I think she's an awesome wrestler. I've always, that's the first time I've really seen her this week and last week. But other than when she was like in the Rumbles and stuff. But it's just, she doesn't sound like she doesn't sound like she looks. But I opened her mouth, I was like, oh wow. I wasn't expecting her voice to sound like that. It seems so high pitched. It just threw me off for a second.
There are very few people in NXT that can cut a good promo, and I'm gonna have to put Bianca Belair on that list. After the match, she goes on a rant about being forgotten in this whole Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair matchup, to which Rhea comes out and says, "No, Bianca, you're not invisible. I see you, and this Sunday I'm gonna go through you." After that, they brawl. Bianca does come out on top, making her look good. This will be a great match as well. I see Rhea holding on to that title just because of the Flair match. But Bianca Belair can go, and it'll be a pretty damn good match this Sunday.
I also like the Rhea character. I wrote that down too. Because they don't really have people with like they always have wrestling and music is always the same thing. And for her, she has like that death metal-ish look. Not many people, I guess that wouldn't be so mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have anything really like that. Like, when CM Punk came out and he had that one intro that was like really, really fast metal. But that was it. So I like that. Like, I even wrote, Rhea's hairstyle is the exact same way as mine was in the 8th grade. And the clothing style, too. With the black and the spikes and the, you know.
Well, having you on here is very interesting to me because, like you said, you've seen 3 episodes of NXT. So I'm really curious to know about your opinion. Do you think, because I have my own opinion and I've said it before, but do you think Rhea Ripley is attractive?
No.
Thank God you said that.
I don't think it's attractive. I'm saying from her side, no. And look, I'm the first one to admit I am not the best looking guy in the world, but no.
She has Pete Dunne's face. She has a dude's face.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to her for having a pretty nice ass, but I mean, other than that, she stands like a dude. She acts like a dude. She's not a lesbian, apparently, but I can't get past that face.
He seems like the type of person that would blow her nose by putting her finger over her nostril and blowing out.
Snot rocket. Yeah. Well, speaking of Pete Dunne, we get the final segment of their journey to NXT Portland. Matt Riddle has the master plan to get there, and Pete Dunne is convinced, oh, you got a plane? How did you get a plane? And Matt Riddle's like, don't worry about it, bro. So they start shoving the trophy into the luggage compartment, and then all of a sudden, Matt Riddle goes, come on, get in here. They both hide in the storage compartment, and then here comes Triple H. Their way to take over Portland was sneaking onto the game's plane. I remember you said earlier you enjoyed all 3 segments. What was your final takeaway on the entire saga of Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne?
Well, the first thing that got me thinking is that pressurized.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I like it. I like that whole, because, you know what it is? It's a good way of keeping them on there and keeping them, relevant with the little segments every once in a while instead of them always just destroying their bodies. Yeah. So I think this was like a pretty genius way of like giving them a break.
Yeah, having them rest their bodies up for the hell they're about to go through on Sunday.
Yeah. But I also was thinking this, because this is my first real exposure of Matt Riddle. I always hear about him and how he like messes with, Brock and Gold stuff. has he always had this bro gimmick?
Oh yeah, ever since his debut, he's had the same horse face with prison mouth, as me and Cesar like to call it. Wearing the trucker's hat, flip flops, no elbow pads, no knee pads. He's only in boxer briefs. It is an entire run that's been Matt Riddle.
Now, do you think this is a knock on Vince Russo because every 3 seconds out of Vince Russo's mouth is bro, bro, bro?
I believe the stoner gimmick is the birth of the bro gimmick because stoners, apparently, they only say bro. Let's go and give RVD a call and count how many times he says bro.
Don't ruin RVD for me, please. No.
Well, after this, we get a Tommaso Ciampa video package. Very passionate Tommaso Ciampa sitting in the NXT theater watching the footage from 1 year ago where he had to relinquish the NXT title due to injury. He then cuts a very passionate promo on how he's getting his life back this Sunday when he gets Goldie from Adam Cole. Are you familiar with Tommaso Ciampa, and how awesome do you think Adam Cole is?
All right, so I was aware of Ciampa. He got injured last year. I remember that. I always thought it was weird with his beard, but this is the first time I actually really paid attention to him. He's my favorite in NXT right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like him. There was so many different things. I even wrote this when I was thinking, like when he was doing that, and you see the way he was wrestling. Like, why is he not in a tag team with Cesaro?
Yeah, that would be very impressive. They both can go.
Yeah. Then I started thinking about what he looks like without a beard, which is amazing. He was in. Do you remember Muhammad Hassan?
Oh yeah, I've seen his origin.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was part. It shows him without a beard as one of Muhammad Hassan's lawyers. I was like, wow, that was a long time ago too. That was pretty good.
It's weird seeing people that have monster beards without their beard. It's kind of like seeing Batman without the cowl. It's like, wow, they just look normal. They don't look like superheroes. With the beard is a part of their ensemble.
It is. That got me going into looking up who, like, Luke Harper looks like without a beard, which there is no pictures.
Good. I don't want to see that.
Also, are you a horror movie fan?
I'm obsessed with horror movies, my friend.
And you will know this. With the passing of Sid Haig,
yes,
they can still continue because Ciampa looks like a Captain Spaulding. He looks like Sid Haig, like a younger version of him with that beard.
I thought you were going to say Luke Harper. I thought Luke Harper kind of looked more like Sid Haig.
Maybe because Sid was older and it was more lighter color, because Ciampa's looked a little bit blondish, a little bit lighter than Harper. But yeah, I was sitting there looking at it. That's all I kept thinking of, with his eyes and everything. I was like, yeah, he looks like that clown. All right.
The one movie I have not seen is the final 3 from Hell in the saga of the Devil's Rejects. Have you seen the 3 from Hell?
No, I have not. That is on my list.
Because I do know Sid Haig was too ill to complete the movie. He was only in a couple scenes. But Serial Killer, Peter Wayne Kent, loved it. So I will be seeing it sometime.
Yeah, that's on my list. Because Devil's Rejects has got to be one of the best. One of the better ones. Especially of, like, newer horror movies. I say newer, like 2000s and up. But I always had a framed photo until I got married, because my wife made me take it down, of like a reenactment of The Last Supper, but it was all the characters from the Devil's Rejects.
Oh, wow.
Which I thought I had that over my living room on TV and everything. That was really great.
The Devil's Rejects was so uncomfortable, it made it great. Like the scene in the hotel when he's torturing that family. The 3 of them it was Captain Spaulding wasn't there, was he? It was just the old man and the baby.
It was baby and Otis.
Yeah, That scene, the entire sequence, and then him cutting the dude's face off and wearing it, that was so uncomfortable that's what made it great to me.
Well, the fact seeing DDP in the movie too, I got excited. I saw that.
And then the whole Bonnie and Clyde ending where they all just get shot.
You can never listen to that song and not think of anything else.
Well, up next is the main event of NXT. Hopefully it was on Hulu. Adam Cole versus Kushida.
Yes.
Now, me and you have something in common, Matthew. We both are unfamiliar with Kushida. I've seen several of his matches. I've only been impressed with one. This one was impressive as well. Kushida has great speed. He was just like it looked like someone pushed fast forward on my screen. This dude was so damn fast. He focused on the arm of Adam Cole to set up his hoverboard finisher submission. I love the armbar counter to the outside when Cole was trying to hit the Panama Sunrise to Kushida. What notes did you take on this match, and are you impressed with Kushida?
No, I'm not. I had no idea who he was. I actually had to Google him. Is he the guy? He just seemed like a generic Japanese wrestler to me. They just brought up. No, that's the only things I took from this was, again, that Cole seemed too small. He looked like he was hurting himself also, jumping off the ropes.
My first impression of Kushida is exactly your first impression. He's not grown on me yet, but I say he has potential to be great. I just have not seen it yet.
My wife, congratulations. My wife did not believe me that I was actually doing this, and she just walked in and she's like, I can't believe this.
Did she watch with you, or did you watch it by yourself?
No, I watch things by myself. She only used to watch when when Ronda Rousey had matches.
Oh, I see. Did she watch the Total Divas with Ronda Rousey in it?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. She liked the Bellas and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's wrestling has always been my getaway from, work gets crazy, whatever. I can just go back and rewatch it. Kind of reminds me of my childhood. So.
Yeah. Well.
But anyways, yes, Kushida. I had no idea who he was, and I didn't really care. It seemed like this match was almost more of let's put on a decent match, quick, get it out of the way, so that they can build up with Cole and Ciampa. That's what I thought.
The notes that I took on this match were I like how he was using the springboard kick as an offensive maneuver instead of a setup to an elbow. The springboard kick, whenever I see that, I always think of Tajiri because he would do the springboard kick to the ropes, bounce off, and hit the elbow. But Kushida was using it as an offensive maneuver. He did eventually lock in the hoverboard lock to Adam Cole. Adam Cole survives. Kushida dominated most of this match. But Cole, of course, hits the last shot for the win. He is now 256 days as NXT champion. After the matchup, Tommaso comes out, stare down in the ring. They mouth some words. You can't hear him that great, but Cole holds up the title. A unique feature of this match as well is that Adam Cole came down by himself. I guess he was so confident in himself that Kushida's a nothing that he didn't need the Undisputed Era at his side, I guess.
I was wondering that as well. How come? Because last week they showed all four of them together. So I just assumed that was just a thing.
Yeah, and also last week, the Undisputed Era was backstage wreaking havoc looking for Tommaso Ciampa, and they all four beat the shit out of Kushida, and then they beat the shit out of Bronson Reed. Yet this time, it was only Adam Cole solo to take on Kushida. I really hope Kushida fights with the cruiserweights. I think he would do great against a Leo Rush, against the Angel Garza, against a Jordan Devlin, against bigger guys like Walter. That was a great match as well, but he got injured for a while. I think Kushida should stick to the cruiserweights, and then maybe we'll start to see his star shine brighter.
Hopefully, yeah. That's See, this is so bad because you hear these wrestlers, and when you hear a name like Kushida, it just doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't know what that means. So, like, whenever I hear, I'm like, have I heard of him before? Like, I don't even know if I've ever heard of him before, or I probably heard him 100 times before, but I don't even know. So hopefully they make something big now. I mean, now that I am an NXT watcher.
Kushida sounds like a model of Toyota that has yet to come out.
Or one of those ones that are in the overseas only.
Well, we did it, Matthew. We broke down NXT.
Thank you. It was my first time. It was very exciting.
Well, does this make you a fan now? Are you going to continue to watch, or are you going to give it up?
You challenged me for a few months, so I can do it.
I really do hope you tune in this Sunday for NxT Portland Takeover, because it is going to be worth it. The weekly shows might not be as compelling, but NXT hits a home run every takeover.
I actually enjoy NXT, so this is something I never thought to go back and watch it on Hulu. I have it, but I never really get to watch. I never get to watch live TV. It's always like kids shows or something, and with working nights, it's so hard to, like, on my nights off, maybe I'll watch whatever's on TV. I never thought to go back and watch shows on Hulu, though. So I went and looked at it on the NXT. That's how I started doing it the other week.
Well, thank you again for watching it, and thank you again for helping me break it down. I will be tuning in this Sunday, just like all of us, for the takeover. Is there any plugs you want to get out there, or any shout-outs you want to give?
You know what? Yeah, because when you interviewed me in November, I said, no, there's no plugs. Then I realized how I always do the day things. I started doing that years ago on Instagram, and I would just mess with a friend of mine, where he would just sit there, and we actually, when he was working nights as well, he would come over to my house, and every Wednesday we would call them mimosas. It was Jack Daniels and orange juice.
Nice.
And we would get drunk in the morning watching wrestling. And I just took a picture of him one day, and I cropped it out, and I just kept using that same picture, and just did Favorite as the holidays with a hashtag on Instagram. So
I was like curious about that, because I saw that dude on every one of your posts.
Yes, that's my best. That's like my brother. So I have 3 brothers, but he's more my brother than my 3 brothers. I've known him 20-something years. He's a great guy. But yeah, that's the thing. Is I told him, you have Instagram, because he's not on social media, and he never does anything. He has an Instagram account, but he doesn't do anything on it. So I said, screw it. I'm going to start putting up on everything.
Well, there you go. You're advertising your friend and your gimmick at the same time.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming on, Matthew. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you to everybody who listened, and pay attention this Sunday. It's going to be a barn burner.
Exciting.
All right, Matthew. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I will talk to you later.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Bye. He's done with your fuck shit. Hail Caesar.
Off the realness, we be the infamous, you heard of us, official Queensbridge murderers, the mark.
Alright, it's your boy Julius _Caesar, and Magria has asked me, out of the white guys in the Hall of Fame chat, who's the blackest? Who's the blackest? Shit. Well, let's run through them. Who we got? Salvage our Foxtrot? Nah, black people ain't doing that airplane shit like that, bro. They ain't doing Air Force. I mean, our dumbass is getting in the military, but we ain't doing Air Force. Next. St. Chris. I clicked on St. Chris's Instagram, and I saw like a bunch of horror films and shit he picked up. Yeah, black people ain't doing that shit either. We ain't buying horror films. We ain't even about horror films. And, black people getting killed in horror films, that's some bullshit. Because everybody knows when black people see some shit going down, some fuck shit starts happening, nigga, we run, we get the fuck out of town. Jake, racist, 80-year-old white man. He said it in the Hall of Fame chat. Done. Bretsky. Nah. Done. Sticks. I don't quite know about Sticks. He's probably got a job he hates. Probably likes to get drunk. There's qualities there, but I'm not sure about Sticks. Next. Who else is in this shit? I probably should have looked up names. Mangria. Nah, Mangria works too hard at something free for him to be black. I mean, let's think about it. He reminds me every week about this fuck shit to send out to y'all. He has his own podcast about a podcast, in which he regularly tries to get people to do for it. Nah, it's too much work for being free. He's always showing up places with banners and t-shirts and all that other kind of fuck shit. Nah, bro. Works way too hard. Next. Sam. Fuck no. Ain't no goddamn way Sam's black. I mean, this nigga couldn't even kill a nigga in that hatchback he drives. Can't even kill a fake god in the back of a hatchback in the middle of Australia. The fuck no. Get the fuck out of here. He's out. Zanka. He does play bass. That is a pro. Didn't get invited to the cookout. But Zanka likes doing weird shit. Like shitting in mailboxes and having friends show up butt naked to places. Nah. He's out. Who else does that leave? Am I leaving anybody out? I don't know. I looked at you guys up. Nah. The only person I can say is Andy. You know why, Andy? Because his dumbass is also in the military. And he likes talking about cheating on his wife by fucking fat bitches. That ain't black people shit. I don't know what is. So there's my vote. Andy with an I. Just like Stubb. Fuck random women that ain't his wife. And do weird shit with his money while he's in the military. That's black people shit. All damn day. So, if you don't like my pick, see me in the comments. I don't give a fuck. Out of here. Fuck shit 316.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover Wednesday Review Part 2 with my man, that wrestling guy. What's going on, Sam? How's your night or day? What is it over there?
It is Sunday. Sunday at 2 o'clock. So, yeah. In the future, I think Zanka mentioned something about if we're in the future. In the past, we are in the future, people. We live about 16 hours ahead of America. So
how is church?
Good. I got my dick out. No.
All right, let's get it started.
No.
We're gonna start
mate.
Let's start with the best part first because AEW is pretty lame. NxT Takeover Portland this Sunday. Predictions. I'm guessing they're gonna start with this match. The tag team championships are on the line when Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, take on the Dusty Cup winners. An odd couple that have put on a decent performance in the past couple weeks, the Broserweights. Who takes it, Sam?
Oh, jeez. I don't know about this one. It's obviously going to be an awesome match. Like, these guys in the ring, how can it not be? Fuck. I don't know. Are they moving towards the Undisputed Era, kind of losing all the gold? Potentially. I know Bobby Fish and Kyle have had it for quite a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Broserweights got up and got this. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Broserweights.
I agree with you. I think the dissension of the Undisputed Era will happen soon. I predicted that all of Undisputed Era will eventually lose their titles by the TakeOver WrestleMania, and then maybe a month after WrestleMania, we'll see Shock the System on Monday Night Raw.
Holy shit. I like that, mate. I like that. I like that a lot. What are they going to go against Seth's little group, you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. However, I would love to see a Adam Cole versus Kevin Owens feud, because I know they're best friends, and they would put on great matches just like Sammy and Kevin.
Yeah, good point. I like that. Oh, look, man, there's heaps of mouth-watering matches, I suppose, that could be had coming up between, if they went to the main roster. Shit, like, take your pick. AJ Styles and Cole. I mean, wow, you got some really, really good matches there. So hopefully that happens, mate. Hopefully that happens.
Well, speaking of mouth-watering matches, there is not a bad match on this entire card. As far as Undisputed Era versus Broserweights, your official pick was the Broserweights?
Yeah, man. Broserweights.
I will agree. They've been on a roll lately, and I think it will continue and cause a rift in the Undisputed Era. Maybe they start doubting themselves next week, but more than likely they'll ask for a rematch. Up next, I mean, there's not a bad... Okay, up next, we'll go with the North American Championship. We'll go with Keith Lee, bask in his glory, versus Dominic Dijakovic. There we go. Who takes this match?
Wow. You're right. This card is, like, amazing. Like, it's got stories. I'm just looking at it now right in front of my computer screen, and I'm like, shit, this could be one of the best cards that they've had, and that's saying something, because takeovers have been, insanely good, and they've set a high standard, but this one could be the best of them all. Like this match here, shit, I've actually forgot that it was happening, but they are going to tear the house down. They're going to beat the shit out of each other. They're going to have an athletic contest. They're going to do some crazy spots. It'll be a really, really highly entertaining match. I know Dijakovic has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's been left out of a few things, so he's got a bit to prove. But I think that big boy Keith Lee is going to get up.
Their matches have been incredible. They keep topping themselves. Well, speaking of takeovers being, great, each takeover we talk about gets better and better and better. It just keeps escalating, getting better and better. I mean, the WrestleMania takeover is probably going to be better than this one. But as far as this match goes, I got to give it to Keith Lee because he just won the belt. And we all know how predictable WWE booking is. They'll at least give him 1 month or 2 months with the belt, and then they'll shake things up. I wish I could say the same for Angel Garza, but in this case, Keith Lee and Dominic are going to have possibly their best match against each other, but Keith Lee will win this matchup. I guarantee.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you.
Up next, another incredible matchup. Rhea Ripley, Sam's ex-girlfriend, will defend her NXT championship against EST Bianca Belair. Who will come out on top in this match? And do you think Charlotte Flair makes an appearance?
Yeah, well, firstly, me and Rhea did have a bit of a fling over in Adelaide, and I don't walk the same anymore after that.
I know it's a bit of a sensitive subject. I'm sorry I brought it up, but the people gotta know, Sam.
Yeah, that's true. Look, as you'd expect, she dominated me, which I enjoyed. But I do walk with a permanent limp now because of Rhea Ripley. So thanks, Rhea. It was fun while it lasted, but I'm glad you've gone on to bigger and better things. And this match is a bit of a... I think we're all going to predict Rhea here just because of the Charlotte storyline. That's going to happen at WrestleMania. And, I think there's going to be... Where is it? Portland. Yeah, I think they're going to... Yeah, Charlotte's going to come out and get a bit involved, but Rhea's still going to get the upper hand in this one. Bianca, after a showing at the Royal Rumble, you never know, though. Like, creative could be a bit hot on her after what she showed, but she might be even due for a call-up. It's not even a call-up anymore, but over to SmackDown, maybe I think she'd be good there, feuding with Bayley or something like that. So maybe after this or down the line she goes there. But I think Rhea and Rhea and Charlotte's story will progress here. Maybe after the match, lay her out and say, I accept. I think that's a good way to go. What about you,
Well,
Mr. Mangria?
I'm sorry to bring this back up again, but you and Rhea, I remember you told me once that you don't fuck Rhea, she fucks you. So I just wanted to, that's why you got the limp. I just wanted to reiterate on that subject. But as far as this match goes, I'm a typical Mark, Sam. I'm a fat idiot, and I look online, I listen to other podcasts, and there's a rumor floating out there that it could be possible we might get a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the NXT Women's Championship between Bianca, Rhea, and Charlotte. I don't know how true those rumors are, but I know they're high on Bianca as well as Rhea. As far as this match goes, I think it's going to be a no contest, setting that up. I think Charlotte might come out there. Maybe Bianca throws Rhea into Charlotte. Charlotte gets pissed and starts hitting Rhea, and it's a DQ, setting up that angle. That will be my prediction for that match.
Yeah, I like that. Where are you hearing those rumors, mate? Like, I mean, I heard a rumor that what's it going to be? Taker and Goldberg, Taker and Roman, Taker. So look, there's rumors fly wild around this time about the WrestleMania card. Not to say that I wouldn't like to see that. I think Bianca and Rhea and Charlotte will put, but I think that one-on-one, I think it's WrestleMania. I just want to see them go one. I know they're high on Bianca and her time will come, but I think at the moment I'd like to see it personally still one-on-one for that. But you know they could move down that path. He could be right.
Well, like I said, I'm an idiot, and I looked up all the dirt sheets, and I wouldn't be too confident in them because this time last month, I was believing we were going to hear a Cult of Personality at Royal Rumble, and Sam was going to have to eat a handful of pubes. But neither of that happened, so, as I said, I'm an idiot who believes everything.
Exactly. No pubes were eaten, at least on camera. I mean...
Oh, man.
I'll put that stipulation up again as well for something that I'm guaranteed that won't happen. Maybe for WrestleMania. But I think that people want to see me eat pubes. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I heard a rumor that Andy and Sam are going to have a hair versus hair bet at WrestleMania. Are these rumors true, or are the dirt sheets wrong again?
You'll have to, never say never. You'll have to wait and see. All those cliches. I'm keeping myself tight-lipped. But look, Andy, he's gone a bit quiet. I don't know what he's been doing. I think he's like drinking himself to death. I'm really worried about him. Actually, I went through my stuff, but I think with a kid, it just adds that bit extra. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's gone a bit quiet, and like the insults I don't think he's got a clear mind. He's usually pretty good on his insults, and he just seems a bit sloppy lately, and all his pictures have been of drinking, and I think Bryce might even be drinking, so I'm just really worried for the guy.
Is somebody spiking his apple juice?
I think so. And look, I'm going to have to, I set a bit of a challenge as well. Next year's WrestleMania in LA, I think we're going to have that custody of Bryce match because it's getting out of control. Bryce needs a better father and a better role model in his life.
Well, if this time next year Andy is he's maintaining this, not being online as much, we'll Skype you in for the intervention. How about that?
I think, look, I'd be happy to. He is a piece of shit. But he's a piece of shit that I enjoy ripping on, and if he's sober, like I can rip on him more. That's the thing. I can pay him out and call him a cunt and a prick and all that kind of stuff. So if he's not there, I can't do it. And as much as we hate each other, we kind of complete each other at the same time too. So
I'm gonna quote Sam here: "Andy's a piece of shit, but he's my piece of shit."
He is. He's my piece of shit.
Well, up next, we have finally the street fight with this rivalry between Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. Now, I've mentioned many times in the past Wednesday review shows, Dakota Kai has rocketed to the top of my favorite female favorite female heel on NXT because of her entrance when she had the video on the Titantron of her breaking Tegan's knees and Tegan screaming as her music. That was my favorite thing ever. I don't think that's ever been done before. So in this rivalry, Dakota Kai got the upper hand on her at War Games and has been rubbing it in her face this entire time. So I believe in this match, Tegan is going to come out on top. What do you think will happen?
Yeah, look, great story. Dakota Kai's turn has been fantastic. She's from New Zealand, so she's a neighbour of ours. But I mean, Australia doesn't really care about New Zealand. But she's been doing a pretty good job, and it's going to be a street fight too, which is I can't think off the top of my head how many women's street fights for not a title match. This is just a good feud that's been built with Mangria. What I talk about all the time, a story. A storyline.
Stories matter.
Stories matter. Stories matter, my friend. That's all I really care about. A good story that we're invested in, and this is it. And the street fight element, perfect, okay? I think I think Dakota Kai's change in attitude's been fantastic for her character, and she's going to go on to do big things as a heel. It's a tough one. I'm going to go, yeah. Have they got enough sympathy on Tegan? Will they get a little bit more? Oh, shit. I'm going to go Dakota Kai just to be a bit different. And then they keep it going. Because, I mean, it's been such a good feud. I don't think we're bored of it yet. So maybe they can continue it and have it going a bit longer.
Can I throw in a Mangria idiotic prediction?
Of course you can.
I predict that Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai will be fighting. Tegan gets the upper hand, and here comes Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae comes down to the ring with a chair, just in support for Tegan. But then all of a sudden, Candice goes in the ring and hits Tegan with the chair, turning on Tegan Nox and siding with Dakota Kai.
Boom. Boom.
Because like I said,
Candice,
every good heel needs a sidekick that helps him cheat to win. Correct?
Very correct, and I like that too. That's because Candice is like your white meat baby face, I suppose too, isn't she? Like everyone loves Candice. She's like your smiling blonde, but yeah, I reckon I like that. You've got some good ideas sometimes, Mangria. You're clearly not drinking, so that's good, or drinking as much as Andy. So you've got some clear thoughts. I like it, mate. I should come on here more often.
I got a lot of catching up to do if I'm gonna drink as much as Andy, but. No, it's cool, Andy. You know you're cool. All right, coming up next. Speaking of story, this has been a good 2 months, 3 months going. Finn Balor returned to NXT and stood side by side with DIY. However, he turned on both of them, but really laid into Johnny Gargano, setting up this match. NXT Takeover Portland. Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano, and one of the best built feuds in NXT. What say you, Sam? What's going to happen?
Oh, good God. Wow, yeah, you talk about stories before. This is just, yeah, I'm a sucker for a long storyline and a payoff. I know Gargano was injured, but, look, this is going to be a fucking fantastic match. How can it not be? How can it possibly not be a good match with these two in the ring, competing on a takeover? Fuck me. I'm excited for this. God damn, where are they going to go with the story, though? Here's the thing. I reckon Mr. Balor gets this one.
Ooh.
I reckon Mr. Balor gets this one. I mean...
Clean?
Clean.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. What about you? Do you have the opposite view?
Oh, boy. Finn has not lost. Oh, yeah, he lost to Adam Cole. I forgot about that. Because of the distraction by Johnny Gargano. Oh, man. This is a flip of a coin, really. I mean, this might be a contender for Match of the Year already with these two. Oh, man. You know what? I'm gonna say the bullshit move. I'm taking the pussy way out. It's gonna be a DQ. Johnny wins via DQ. Finn Balor beats the shit out of him with a foreign object, stretching out this rivalry to the WrestleMania takeover, which could have any type of stipulation. I'm taking the pussy way out. DQ.
2 DQs on the same card, mate.
Hey,
No, that'll go down well.
they got to set up for WrestleMania. You know they always think about the next takeover.
That's true.
But I'm always wrong, so don't take what I say serious.
You're not always wrong, man. You're sure you're right once in a while. I mean, I'm pretty right most of the time, actually. If you go back historically and look at my videos, I'm not too far off the mark. So, but look, yeah, like flip of a coin, man. Flip of a coin. They will continue. They will continue this stuff. I think unless Finn. Johnny's been up the NxT title. Yeah, I see this going on to the WrestleMania Takeover as well, in a stipulation match of some sort. And is Demon Balor a thing anymore? Because he's a heel.
We've seen a vicious heel Finn Balor since his return. He's been fucking up people with a smile on his face. If you shoot for the Prince, you better not miss. Could you imagine a heel demon going up against Johnny Gargano, WrestleMania Takeover? Nobody could stop him. Maybe not even the Fiend. That's something I cannot wait. My nipples are hard just thinking about it.
Oh, God, I know. I wish I could feel them. Yeah, look, a heel. I think he did. Did he do heel demon in New Japan? I'm pretty sure he did.
I am not familiar with his New Japan work. However, he did look goofy as fuck. I've seen pictures.
Yeah, I mean, but I think he was, because the Bullet Club was a heel faction. I think he was a heel demon, so maybe, yeah. But shit, at least, if he's a heel demon, he doesn't have to do that stupid tongue shit so much. Remember the last time?
Oh my god.
Fuck, that was horrible. We need to change that image from... and he fought Corbin too, the fucking demon. Sorry, I don't want to talk about Corbin, but fuck Corbin, just to drop that in there.
Corbin runs in, and end of days, both of them. No. So now we go to the main...
That would cause me to get in the car and fucking yell and scream. For
immediate rant. Emergency rant.
Emergency rant, yeah.
The main event. The match that rivals the Gargano-Finn match. Adam Cole, baby, versus Tommaso Ciampa. NXT Championship. Regular match. Who wins this match? The main event.
Does he get Goldie back? Does Daddy get his gold?
I don't see how you don't whack off during NXT every week, Sam. The stories are solid on NXT.
I never said I didn't whack off.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought, there you go.
No, I never said that I didn't. I do. I rub a few out. It's fine.
There was a couple times I saw that wrestling guy's shirt a little crusty. Now I know why.
Exactly.
I thought it was the Coke. No.
It's Coke and cum and all the other stuff mixed on that shirt, mate. You don't know what's been on that shirt. Fucking trust me.
I see.
Yeah. It's. I don't wash it either because it's bad luck. So
it'll lose its flavor.
It will. It's one day it'll be in some kind of museum. I think across the old TWG shirt, in the Museum of Bad Gimmicks. Who knows? But I'm gonna look. Like going on to the I think Adam Cole will win because he'll have the only main belt out of Undisputed Era and he'll be like, guys, you lost all the belts, I'm the only one, blah blah blah, and then that'll start to build in more of the other guys getting a bit, teasing a turn about the Undisputed Era, saying that it's all about Adam Cole, blah blah blah. Adam, I'm the only one carrying this team, that kind of stuff. So I think Adam Cole wins. What say you?
Adam Cole wins, and let me ask you if this will make you unhappy. So Adam Cole wins because Undisputed Era follows him to the ring, distracts Tommaso. He wins, no DQ. He wins the belt. Next NXT, William Regal comes out with his bug eyes and his serious look and says, "You thought you're smart, don't you, Adam Cole? Well, for WrestleMania I can't do the accent. For WrestleMania
Oh my god, was
Takeover.
that a fucking English accent? You sounded like a nincompoop Drew McIntyre there.
What's all this then, love? No, would you be unhappy at the WrestleMania Takeover if William Regal sticks to WWE booking and says, you're not only defending it against Tommaso Ciampa, but Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano in a fatal 4-way match, main event of WrestleMania? Would that make you unhappy, or would you look forward to it?
Oh, what, on the Mania card?
Mania? Yeah. Well, oh, it's going to be on the Mania card?
No, are you saying it's that match on the WrestleMania card or the Takeover?
The WrestleMania Takeover.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know they were going to have... They're going to have a match on the WrestleMania card?
I don't know. Like, I thought that's what you meant, mate. I thought that's what you meant. Like, is the Charlotte match going to be on WrestleMania, or is this going to be on NXT Takeover WrestleMania?
That's a good question. I have no clue.
Exactly. Do you think Charlotte wants to, the Queen really wants to wrestle in the 16th hour when she can wrestle in an 80,000 seat arena?
Yeah, she does like those big entrances, so I could see it being on the WrestleMania card.
So I thought you meant that these guys would just have because the NXT Women's Championship match is on, that the guys might have one as well. But that would be fucking awesome. But obviously that'll put the show back to 15 hours long rather than 13. So
wait a minute, hold on. What you said just blew my mind, because now I can see it more plausible. I can see it happening now that they want to get more exposure for NXT. So they might put that match on the WrestleMania card, a Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, why not? It'd be fucking amazing. It doesn't have to go long. It can be like a Fatal 4-Way, lots of just to showcase these guys. And I think it would be fun for like a 10, 15 minute match or something like that. But that's what I thought you meant, mate.
No, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm future dream booking right now. We need to stick to the NXT Portland. Let's go. I think we both agree that Adam Cole, baby, remains NXT champion at the end of tomorrow night. Or tonight, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. It's tomorrow midday for me, anyway.
Alrighty, well, let's break down AEW. AEW started with a tag team championship match, putting Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, the AEW tag champions, against SCU for some ungodly reason. Before the match even kicked off, the Dark Order interrupted with a video, and then Fat Uno came out saying, "We're closer than you think." Christopher Daniels from SCU says, "Hold on, guys, I'll take care of this." He storms backstage for some reason. This was a straight-up match. There was no miscommunications here between Omega and Page like they've been doing in the past. And they win, despite Kazarian's foot was on the rope during the 3 count. I guess the ref didn't notice. I don't know if they changed the match at some point, but are you familiar with these people and their great matches they've been putting on in the weeks prior?
I'm familiar, but I would talk about like the Dark Order for a second. Do you like it? Do you like that?
That is fucking god awful.
Yeah, it's shit, man. I kill it. I laugh every time I see them.
Well, they axed the Brandy Rhodes Nightmare Collective angle because nobody was into it. They are desperately hanging on to the Dark Order. Do you think the rumors... Here we go with the rumors again. The rumors are true that Matt Hardy might end up as the leader of the Dark Order?
Well, hopefully that brings a bit of creativity to it, because at the moment it's just it seems cheesy to me. Like, remember when, like, that wrestling... Like, it almost like they're trying to parody that wrestling god, which was,
We can't speak that name on The Hangover, Sam. Sorry. That name has been banished from The Hangover because of the evil that he brings. We can't mention that name.
Fair enough. Like, he obviously haunts me every single day, in one way or another. But I don't know where the fuck he is. But anyway, Anyway, Dark Order. Sorry, I haven't seen the match, but I'm assuming it was good. So I'll leave it to you to decide.
The match was decent. Like I said, it was straight up. But when Dark Order when Evil Uno comes out, it looks like me with a mask out there. You can't take that guy serious. It's like, come on, guys. You need a new leader. This guy needs to do some push-ups or something.
But I think if Matt Hardy does, it'll bring some creativity to it, and some darkness to it. Dark Order, they look like the, I don't know, the dickhead order. Honestly, like, I don't. Where's the darkness and the evilness? Like, where's all the? Just do something a bit. Anyway, I'm not into it.
Well, Hangman Page exits through the crowd drinking like he usually does. I guess that's the only strange thing that happened between Page and Omega. But the Dark Order eventually come out again. The Best Friends come out to help. Butcher, Blade, and Bunny come out. All these tag teams come out. Hybrid 2, I don't know who the fuck they are. The Young Bucks come out, and they all just fight in the ring. Because next week there's going to be a Battle Royal. And the winner of the Battle Royal goes on to challenge Hangman and Omega at Revolution on February 29th. So that's setting that shit up. But when the Young Bucks came out, I saw this on the dirt sheet, but I noticed myself. JR calls them the Bucks of Youth, which got all kinds of people talking about the Matt Hardy rumors once again.
Yeah, right, the Bucks of Youth. Is JR surely he might have just lost his mind?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely got a hint of dementia going on, along with his Bell's palsy.
Yeah, I know. No, let's get Matt over and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? It can't be any worse than what's happening at the moment. And
well,
get him over this.
During the brawl, Evil Uno and the other guy who looks like he's from the Viking Raiders were like backing up the ramp to escape. And then here comes freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Gets a huge pop, of course. He sneaks up on them, and the Bucks and Best Friends attack the Dark Order. They all get into the ring and do the the Dark Order eventually escapes, and they go to commercial. And you know how to do the picture-in-picture during the commercial breaks? Well, all kinds of fun stuff happened during this segment. Orange Cassidy went into the ring, and Orange Cassidy and the Young Bucks, all three did the devastating super kicks that Orange Cassidy does. And it was pretty funny. I wish we could have heard the audio, because I bet you the crowd popped loud for that. But the Bucks put their bandana on Orange Cassidy, and then, like you said, all five of them hugged. The Best Friends, the Bucks, and Cassidy all hugged. And that was pretty entertaining. I wish that would have had the audio to it. But then we get a JR sit-down interview, because we all know how good the Michael Cole sit-down interviews are. Hey, why doesn't AEW do it? Okay. JR sits down with an interview with Santana from the Inner Circle. And I gotta say, I was impressed. Santana cut a really good promo about how his father lived in darkness, and now he wants to experience how he lived because he's missing one eye. And he's just telling he's going to leave Jon Moxley in the dark at the end of the night. Very impressed with Santana's promo. Are you familiar with LAX and his previous work?
Yeah, familiar with LAX. I haven't seen the sit-down interview with it, but have they had much time to actually have one-on-one promos? I don't like with LAX. They're usually just together. And are they doing more of that kind of stuff now to develop character? I mean, it was all about the matches initially with AEW, but now, I mean, I saw a couple of things as well backstage. I'll probably talk about Nyla in a minute, about more of a characters and stories coming through. Is that what they're trying to do here? So
AEW has been doing something very, very smart lately with the Inner Circle. They have been giving them their own spotlights. Like Ortiz, the goofy Afro Puff guy, he's been getting over big time during the matches, doing the silly tiger claws and shouting at the camera, the best, the best. You know, we're getting this image of how funny his character is. He's got a lot of charisma. And last week, after Moxley stabbed Santana in the eye with the car key, they did a backstage vignette with Jericho saying, "Oh, Moxley, you're such a coward. Who stabbed someone in the eye, honestly?" And then Santana stood up and said he cut a good promo then last week as well. So they follow up with this JR sit-down interview with Santana. He's getting a character developed. He's really intense, and he's fantastic in the ring. we're going to talk about the main event later. I'm very impressed with Santana. I used to like Ortiz better. I think I'm a Santana fan now.
Well, that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do, man. And, like, give talent the opportunity to create and build. And I know people were hard on AEW early, but at least they're doing that now. And then you can invest and you can see different sides of character. They're not just good in the ring. They can actually cut a promo, which is a lot of what the wrestling business is about, to be able to talk and be able to, sell a story. So that's great that they're doing that, man. I'll have to go check it out.
Well, if there's one thing you should check out, Sam, it's this recent Darby Allin black and white video. So, Darby Allin, he got his neck caved in with the skateboard on TV a couple weeks ago by the Inner Circle. So he's been putting out these weird vignettes. Like last week, they had him use a flamethrower on a cardboard cutout of Jericho and Sammy. This time it just was the camera. It was pointed at the ground, and Darby kept holding signs up in front of the camera, basically saying he's going to murder Sammy Guevara at Revolution. And it was just like 4 or 5, 6 signs of him talking about that. And then the final one said that Sammy got herpes from Jericho from kissing his ass. And it showed like a picture of Sammy's face that he drew freehand with herpes all over his face. It was pretty entertaining.
Wow. Shit. I gotta get back on the train, man. I've been keeping up with AEW, but that sounds pretty. I like that.
They're doing a good job preparing us for Revolution. I might actually fork out to $60 for it. We'll see.
60? Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey.
Look, yeah. Look, and I think they're having 4 big pay-per-views a year. I think that helps.
Yeah,
that really helps. There's no oversaturation of oh shit, we got to get a 4-week storyline in or a 3-week storyline, and then there's a fucking shitty Super Showdown pay-per-view. Oh, we got to do more. It's like, yeah, let this build for like 3 months, and then have the payoff, like Moxley, Jericho, and all these guys. Like, it's just kind of let's in a circle. They've got time to get themselves over, and it's just the payoffs. I think that's much better. It's almost going back to the old days where they used to barely have any pay-per-views and have a couple of big events, and that's where it would all come to a head. So they've done well there.
I agree with you. They do a good job of letting stories breathe. They do a good job of letting stories build, making you care more and more about people, and they really do need to build these people we don't know. Like, personally, I don't know Darby Allin, so they're building this mysterious, weird, violent, emo guy. I think they're doing a great job with it, and I'm looking forward to their match at Revolution. Speaking of Sammy Guevara, Sammy Guevara is next versus Dustin Rhodes, that 50-year-old fuck who's in better shape than all of us. He was incredible in this match. You couldn't tell he's that old. He wrestles better than some of the younger WWE guys. This was a pretty decent match. I noticed that Sammy hit the Feast Your Eyes, Dominic Dijakovic's finisher. Of course, it wasn't as devastating, but I just thought that was a cool little thing that he did. Of course, Jake Hagar, he got involved. He was getting very animated during the match, like standing up on the apron, distracting the ref and shit. But eventually, Dustin hit his, I guess this is his move now, the Canadian Destroyer from the second rope, and then hit the Final Reckoning for the win. After the match, Hagar and Sammy were walking up the ramp, all defeated and stuff. But Dustin calls out Hagar. He says, "Hey, are you going to wrestle ever? Or are you just going to show up and collect a paycheck?" He challenges them at Revolution, and I guess the match is on. Hagar never talked, but they showed the graphic like immediately afterwards that the match is on. Are you looking forward to a Jack Swagger versus Goldust match in the year 2020?
Jack Swagger. Look, like you said, he hasn't wrestled yet. And just to go back to Dustin, to Goldie, he's always been a really good wrestler in the ring. And he's also been a really good promo. He's very, very underrated. And the fact that he's moving around is as freely as he is. I mean, he's 50, and have a look at like Matt Hardy. I know he's like a couple of years younger and he can barely move, but Goldust still looks smooth. He looks, he doesn't look like, he still has really great matches. And Hagar, aka Swagger, interesting to see what kind of match he brings. Like, he's obviously doing the MMA stuff as well. So is he going to go along that style of maybe like a Brock Lesnar type match where he's like dominating, or is he, so that'll be interesting to see. And his promo, I did see the promo. He's great. It's a great promo. He always does great promos as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I'm looking forward to the whole card.
I remember watching Jack Swagger wrestle when he was in WWE. I don't want to put him down because I couldn't do any of that shit. But every time I watched his matches, he kind of seemed sort of generic. He wasn't really innovative.
Yeah.
He was, I don't know.
He did that Vader thing, didn't he? That kind of from the rope. He did that splash.
He does that, and he did like the gut wrench power bomb. I'm like, it was okay. He did the ankle lock too, I believe. It was okay. I'm hoping all this time away, and like you said, his MMA fighting, maybe he's learned and picked up a couple more moves. But it's AEW, so he's gonna bust out a cutter in the middle of the match for no reason. But yeah, I am looking forward to the match. Maybe he'll blow us away. Who knows?
Yeah, I want to see that style I want to see that aggressive MMA style that brings a bit more realness to the match, and he beats the shit out of him. And yeah, it's like more looks like a shoot fight. It looks like a Brock Lesnar type fight.
Hagar's going over. There's no fucking way Dustin's winning that.
Of course. No way. No. It doesn't make one bit of sense for Dustin to win. Not one bit. No, definitely Hagar's going over.
Hey, Sam, are you familiar with Britt Baker?
I've heard what Britt's been doing, and I've seen a couple of things. They're actually, she's good. She's throwing shade. What does she call Whataburger faces this week?
Yes.
Yeah. We don't have Whataburger here, so I'm assuming it's just another fast food chain full of shit.
We're fat asses here in America, so every state has their own special fat people burger place. Like California has In-N-Out. So yeah, Whataburger's over there in Texas where they were going. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker this past Wednesday. Little technical issue. I'm just bickering here, but the camera shadow was in Britt's face the entire time. I thought they would have, seen that because they're professionals, right? But she spits a lot of dental jargon during this promo. She gets booed very loudly after the Whataburger chant. After the Whataburger line, and the entire crowd chants, "Fuck you, Baker! Fuck you, Baker!" So she's getting that heat. So she must be doing something right.
Hit a little bit too close to home with those AEW fans. Now she's got to mention like the deodorant problem, and you're pretty much summing up most of the AEW fans.
Oh yeah, definitely, and out of shape and stinky. That's AEW written all over it.
Yeah, did I tell you the time I actually went to a show and I had to move because these two guys were next to, I couldn't actually physically fit in the seat between the two, so I had to stand up in the aisle when I went to the Raw after WrestleMania.
Oh my God.
That was when AJ won that Fatal 4 to fight Roman Reigns. That was the WrestleMania after Dallas, and I had to fucking stand up in the aisle because I literally couldn't fit, and they were like coughing and like spluttering, and I'm like, nah, fuck this. So I stood up the whole time.
I told you that the Mega Pounders, we have attitudes, we're the Mega Pounders with cheese. We got to throw our weight around. So we were just trying to intimidate you. Sorry, Sam. We didn't mean to ruin your show.
You did. You fucking did. Thanks a lot, you Mega Pounder pricks.
Well, up next, what should have been the main event possibly, the AEW Women's Championship match. We finally get to see this little mosquito Riho get smashed by Nyla Rose. I've never been on board with Riho. Call me an idiot wrestling fan because I am. I do not like her. I don't like any of her matches. This was not believable. However, this was her best match performance to date for me. Riho did put up a fight against this man beast. JR dropped a little gem that he used to say back in the day, but now it sounds really weird. JR says, "A count out is like kissing your sister." Classic JR.
Kiss me. I don't see that. I can't, what? Fuck, all right. Sorry, it's throwing me off. Like, kissing your sister, it's just not right. Is that what he's saying?
JR's set in his ways, Sam. So we're just throwing him a bone here. He gets a
Just
pass.
wrong,
You know,
that's fine.
pretty soon he's
good
gonna
old
show
JR.
up on commentary in his tidy whities, and it'll be all downhill from there.
Yeah, that'll be good. Can't wait for that.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't on board with Rhea either. I think it was the wrong move to put that title's still so fucking small, isn't it? The belt on her, I think they should have gone another way with that. But Nyla now, yeah, look, and it was a good match because it's big versus little. It always works. It always trying to chop down the giant, trying to battle up against Goliath. That old story's worked since the test of time. So that's why I was probably there.
The AEW Women's Championship looks like the medic alert bracelet on my wrist that tells people I have diabetes. Nyla Rose was extremely dominant during this match. I loved it. She hit an AA, an actual attitude adjustment from the top rope. And that fucking Riho kicked out of that. In your face, John Cena. But Nyla eventually wins with a sit-out powerbomb. Nyla then licks her hand, which is weird. And JR calls her King of the Mountain.
Wow.
I wouldn't ask you to go look this up on YouTube, but I mean, it was entertaining. Like I said, it's Rio's best outing, in my opinion. And Nyla's finally on top of that mountain. Apparently, she's the Burger King of it. But now, who the fuck is going to stop that monster? Because Kong is shooting glow right now. So I guess they're just going to give Nyla Rose a dominant run with that belt. What do you think?
Yeah, let her fuck people up for a while. That's fine. Make her like run her through the roster, honestly, and then get a big challenger in there or something, or I don't know, build up Brandy to like go, ultimate underdog or something like that. I don't know. Build up Brandy, because Brand, they haven't really used Brandy that well either, at all. I know they just ditched whatever the fuck she was doing. She was on commentary this week, was she, or something?
Yes.
I liked what they did backstage with Nyla as well afterwards, like talking about Jericho. I did see this actually, talking like, Jericho got a big parade and all I get is, Kenny Omega and a couple of people and all this kind of stuff. So.
Oh, okay. So you actually heard this? Because that's what I was going to bring up next. During the commercial, they did the picture-in-picture, and I guess Nyla was berating Omega in the women's division. What the hell did she what did she say?
Didn't you get that?
No, it went picture-in-picture, and it was on, no audio for that. I didn't hear anything.
Well, this is saying that, like, Jericho got a big celebration when he won his and champagne and stuff, and I just get Kenny Omega and a couple of, like, women's hacks or whatever like that. So she went on a bit of a time. It's good.
Wow. Good for you, Nyla. You tell him.
Yeah, man, get a bit of, get her character over as well. Get her doing that kind of stuff. It's good. So, yeah, build her, feed her some people, not jobbers, like, women's actual wrestlers. They need to build. They still need a long way to go to build up that division, because NXT is fucking miles ahead of AEW still, and maybe they can start now from putting it on the wrong person initially. Now they can try and make amends and build that back up again to be a key feature, because it needs to be in this day and age. It needs to be a key feature.
Well, I'm very glad that you got to fill in that blank, because I was very curious of what she was saying. However, they come back from commercial on my end, and they have an inner circle backstage interview where they're talking about Jeff Cobb, who I have no idea who the fuck that is. Are you familiar with Jeff Cobb?
Jeff Cobb. No, I don't know. No. He was in New Japan, right?
I guess. I have no idea who the fuck this guy is.
No. I just Google searched,
Well,
he's been New Japan, Ring of Honor, Lucha, everywhere. So yeah.
Wow. I know he's a free agent. That's the only thing I know for sure. They give us another Cody lashing recap. It was ultra dramatic. Did you see this lashing, or did you catch it on YouTube during the week?
Yeah, I was going to rant about the lashing, actually. I forgot. Because people were getting pissed off. Like, people were like, oh, why are you doing a lash? I'm like, well, fucking tells a good story, and I thought it was really well done. I don't know, people saying it was lame. I thought it was dramatic, and they got people to come out, and like Cody's reactions were really good. Like, I thought that it got really good buy-in from the audience. I don't know why people were saying that.
Okay, Sam. Let me tell you my problem with that. Me and my man Julius Caesar, we shit all over this, but it was for comedy purposes. The actual problem I had with the Cody lashing segment was what he used to lash Cody. He used a Walmart belt when I was expecting... I mean, you want MJF to get some massive heat, why not use, like, I don't know, an actual whip? Just something different than a Walmart belt would have been fine. I know it did the damage. It left the marks that they wanted to. I just wanted an actual sort of whip. That's it.
You want like a fucking cat of nine tails or something like that. You're a sadistic prick, man. That shit hurts. Even with a Walmart fucking $5 belt, man. Like, I'll make a bet. I'll make a bet with someone who wants to take it about getting some lashings, and we'll see. I'll buy a cheap belt, and I'll tell you how much it fucking hurts, because those welts still hurt. What, do you want spikes on the end of it too to impale him? Jesus Christ!
Listen, Sam. Wardlow could have went to the set of Roots, got some of their props, walked all the way back to the set of AEW, got in the ring, used something that looked like a whip. Then it would have been believable. Using a Kmart belt that had the price tag on it still, whipping Cody as he's crying like a baby. Whoop-de-doo. No. No, it was good. I don't know. That's my only gripe, is that he had something different. It's fine that he used the belt. I don't know. Cesar said that he took harder whippings from his mama when he was a child, so I gotta take him for his word.
Cesar hasn't taken fucking shit. He's a fucking soft cunt. He's not. I'm gonna fly over and whip Cesar. See how he likes it. How about that, Cesar? Let's go.
Shots fired, Cesar. Well, like you said earlier, Brandy does join commentary, and she's back to being normal. And JR's being respectful, and Tony's being respectful to her. It's actually kind of nice, instead of her trying too hard to be a heel on commentary. She was decent. And then MJF comes out. And MJF, it went to a commercial break, and he was doing crowd work, walking around the entire ring, like ripping people's signs. He got, I don't know whose face it was, but someone in the crowd had like an announcer's face as a sign. He grabbed that sign, threw it on the floor, and then he got a chair from under the ring and started hitting the sign with the fucking chair. He's an excellent heel, man. That was funny. That made me laugh out loud. But Jurassic Express comes out, and Jungle Boy wishes them adieu because he wants to go to the ring solo. MJF versus Jungle Boy was the matchup next. They had very great chemistry together. Jungle Boy made MJF look fantastic. Whereas, MJF, the boys on the Steel Real After Party said that that's the worst part of MJF is his ring work. Whereas this match they had was fantastic. I liked it. I would suggest watching at least maybe 5 seconds of this match because it was pretty decent, man.
5 seconds.
Yeah, that's just watch the first 5 seconds, then you can turn it off. However, he kept taking his time, MJF, He didn't capitalize on a lot of opportunities to lay into him. Like, he would beat him up, and Jungle Boy would be on the floor. And instead of, continually beating him, he would, go to the crowd and start flipping people off, or he was enticing boos. He should have kept on him, but I digress.
Jungle... No, look, that's a fair point you bring. Like... Because I know all these promos to this is like, he's training him really hard, and he's like, are you ready, Cody? And he's showing this aggressive side. There's a limit. You can get all that kind of like, ripping signs and shit's that old school, like, heel tactics of like, they used to have fucking plants in there to like to have signs so they'd rip them up or whatever. And that's all good to well and do at the start, but like during the match and stuff, like just show your fucking aggression and go, this is for you, Cody. Like, you know what I mean? I agree with you, man. Like, lay your shit in, be really aggressive, and like, yeah, fucking Jungle Boy, I fucked him up, you know what I mean? And what's next? And then go off and do your heel shit again. There's a risk, there's a balance there of too much and not enough. But, it takes away from the match sometimes when he's just constantly, trying to get that heat from the crowd.
He does something pretty great afterwards, though. But to steal a line from JR, Jungle Boy, quicker than a hiccup. He hit a poison Rana to MJF that was very impressive. I didn't know Jungle Boy could do that because I'm not familiar with him either. So anytime I get to see Jungle Boy wrestle is a treat because he has not had a bad performance since. Because, I mean, his 10-minute match with Jericho was impressive, and this match was impressive as well. MJF, being the incredible heel that he is, during some downtime, Jungle Boy was on the floor. MJF goes up to the ropes, says, "Hey, Brandy!" He grabs his dick and said, "She could have a real man." The crowd boos the shit out of him. I gotta say, though, MJF didn't really have a handful there. That dude's, he might be a part of the micro peen club with Jake. But Wardlow makes his way back out to the ring because he was supposed to do this solo. But during a distraction, Wardlow hands MJF that stupid diamond ring. He hits Jungle Boy with it, and of course Jungle Boy sells it like he got hit with a brick wall. And then MJF hits the double cross, aka the Crossroads, for the win. Are you surprised that that little diamond ring was enough to disorient Jungle Boy?
Oh, Jungle Boy's not the biggest guy, is he? He's a small guy, I don't know. But other things have been used in the past to knock people out with less, do you know what I mean? I think, it might look a bit silly, but I wouldn't read too much into it, mate. We've hit people with sillier shit in the past to knock people out, so...
Well, I mean,
right.
it looked good, at least,
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, that's the thing. That's the main thing. There's been sillier shit done and more unrealistic shit done than that in wrestling, so...
Well, afterwards, Wardlow gets in the ring and attacks Jungle Boy, but Jurassic Express comes out to his rescue. We go into a Pac video package, and he's basically just talking shit to Kenny Omega the entire time. Pac is obsessed with having this rubber match against Kenny Omega, and I'm guessing it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I haven't really heard when it's happening. Oh, it's a 30-minute Iron Man match. That's right.
They're doing a 30-minute, but that's on Dynamite, though. That's not on pay-per-view.
That'll be in the very near future. I'm guessing that's going to drown NXT's ratings as well, because Pac versus Omega is always going to be great. Oh, you can help me with this one, Sam, because I didn't read what this guy's sign said. I looked on one of your posts or your story, I believe, and you had the Scooby-Doo fan in a crowd. He was right front center in hard cam. What the hell did his sign say?
I didn't get what his sign said. I was just making a point that, like, only in wrestling there'd be an interaction with a guy in the front row that's wearing a fucking Scooby-Doo outfit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what wrestling is. It's just, why did he go, I think I'll dress up in a Scooby-Doo costume today and I'll go down and sit front row at an AEW show. I mean, you never know what the fuck the fans are going to do, other than be fat and stink. Like, they're pretty funny sometimes, except for that fucking green shirt guy. He fucking pisses me off. Wearing the same goddamn fucking shirt at every WWE show. I'd love to have Scooby-Doo guy there front row more than that green shirt wanker. Let's get Scooby-Doo guy in all of them.
Wrestling is beautiful nonsense.
It is, 100%.
Well, we're getting set up for the AEW main event now. The Inner Circle, Jericho, Sammy, and Jake Hagar enter the Skybox. Of course, while being serenaded by the crowd, because that's a thing now, and I fucking love it.
Singing his theme?
Yes. Santana versus Moxley. Eye for an eye match, which I guess just basically meant they both only have one eye during the match, so that was the whole point of that. But the fight doesn't even start in the ring. It starts outside the ring. Pretty violent. Santana beats the fuck out of Moxley, trying to shove his good eye into the corner of the steps, which would have been brutal. I wrote in my notes here, Santana is a better wrestler than I thought. This was a coming out party for Santana for me, because like I said, I'm not familiar with him. So these past couple weeks, he's just been nailing it, and I'm very impressed with him. I hope Santana and Ortiz get a shot at them tag titles very soon. Of course, he has to hit the cutter, like I said, like everybody else. The move that shocked me, though, is they allowed him to do the pile driver to Moxley. You don't see that often. Like a straight-up pile
Oh.
driver. Not the Canadian Destroyer, but like a Jerry Lawler pile driver. I liked it.
Yeah, shit. Well, I mean, that was banned. I know that was never banned on the independents, but like in WWE, it is being banned. But yeah, I'm actually watching. Like as you're talking, I'm watching the highlights as you're talking right now. I found something on YouTube of this match. I want to see that pile drive. But I mean, everyone does a fucking Canadian Destroyer. It's like let's see how many Canadian Destroyers we can put in a match. It's good to see pile drive. I mean, if you can do it safely, like go for it. It's a good move. It's a classic move, and it's a devastating move. The old pile driver. So I like it.
Ortiz, being the innovator of entertainment, gets a flask full of booze, apparently, and spits it in Mox's good eye, giving Santana the advantage here. Mox, he still hits the dirty deeds for the win, but I got to give Ortiz props for helping out his buddy. But, you know, it was bad news for Moxley because afterwards the Inner Circle jumps into the ring and beats the fuck out of him. Speaking of whips, Jericho whipped Moxley with the AEW title, which I have to imagine hurts way fucking more than his Walmart belt they used on Cody. But then we get a surprise. The man that Sam and I are not familiar with, Jeff Cobb, comes out. He has a theme and a Tron and everything. And he joins the party and beats the fuck out of Jon Moxley. And we close out the show with the Inner Circle posing with Jeff Cobb. I'm guessing Jeff Cobb's in the Inner Circle. But in the future, we're going to get a match between Jeff Cobb and Jon Moxley. I can't see Jon Moxley winning that because Jeff Cobb is a special attraction and they will not want him to lose his first match.
That's true. I'm just watching Jeff come out now, actually. Did he need to come out with the Inner Circle? I don't know. It's probably a good spotlight to put him on, but yeah. I mean, how much can you beat the shit out of like six guys? Mox has got no friends. Six guys beating up Mox.
Well, you know, my problem with this was they, like I said earlier, the Inner Circle had a backstage interview where they name dropped Jeff Cobb. He's going to be coming soon, and you better watch out, Jon Moxley. And they kind of wasted the debut in the same night. Like for the first time ever, they mention him.
Tease me, baby. Tease it up.
They gotta wet that pussy.
Foreplay.
They gotta wet that pussy before they give us the money shot. But they gave us both in the same night.
That's what I know. They do that with you. You do that with your partner, mate. I know you like to really tease her up. I know you like to play some of my audio clips just to get her in the mood.
We just got done.
Some of my rants.
She's blowing me right now.
Oh, hey.
She can't talk. She just nodded.
No, yep. Okay. You got to keep it there. You got to keep it there. Podcasting and blowjobs. I like it.
I'm going to steal one of your bits here, Sam. What makes me sick is why the pile driver is banned, yet the suicide dive is not banned. What the fuck? That move never does the damage it's supposed to do unless you're Big E. And I guess 9 times out of 10 it works, but there's that 10th time where you get a Brie Bella.
Yeah, and mate, if you're going to do it, get a bit of fire in it. You know, do you know what makes me sick? The fact that fucking suicide dives are still a part of modern wrestling. They are complete and utter waste of fucking time. What, you're basically pushing the other guy, are you? Flying through the air, risking your neck. You were literally going to break your neck if your feet hit that rope, fall flat on your fucking head. Even when Big E does it, he looks like he's going to fucking dislocate his shoulder every time. See, that's how you do it.
That's how it's done. Thank you, Sam. Hey, I planted the seed, and you made it grow, baby.
No worries, man.
Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you for your time with the NXT predictions and the AEW breakdown. Is there anything you want to plug before you leave us here tonight?
Just plug that wrestling guy. You want to hear more rants? You want to hear me shit on Andy? It's me against the Americans, pretty much. Like, it's fucking. I get in that group chat, man. I'm ganged up upon. I don't care. I like being the Aussie underdog. It's fine. I can fucking rise up against you American pricks. It's all good. I've still got Zanker by my side. He's my only ally. And you sometimes you're like a flip flopper. You're a bit of a like, oh yeah, I'll be on Team Andy, and oh yeah, I might be on Team Sam. It's just like fucking.
Hey, I didn't
pick a
flip
side,
flop.
man.
When did I flip flop?
No, it sounds like you flip flop in the. I reckon you're tickling Andy's balls sometimes, mate. I reckon you do.
Hey, only on the weekends. Oh, wait a minute. It's a weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Where is he? Oh, he's drunk. He's passed out in an alley.
I took him to the emergency room a couple of nights ago, so he's getting his stomach pumped.
Yeah, he's probably trying to find methylated spirits in the hospital. He's really fucking lost it.
Well, alrighty, Sam. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, everyone who's listening. Follow at That Wrestling Guy on Instagram. You already know. Whoever's listening is already following you, so they're going to go over there and kiss your ass anyway because you the man, Sam. Thank you very much for saving this review. I didn't have anybody, and you swooped in and saved the day. I really appreciate that, my friend.
No worries at all, Mr. Mangrea. You enjoy the rest of your night, and yeah, the blowjob is still going quite well for you. So I'm glad you're having a good evening, mate. I'm going to see if I can walk the streets of Melbourne and try and find myself someone to give me a blowjob as well. So should be a good day.
Well, don't fall off the deep end like you did a couple months ago. We need you here, all right?
Oh yeah. Just keep me away from the coke.
Okay. All right, man. Well, have a good night, and thank you for being on.
See you, brother.
All right, bye.